Yeah, the runners are loading then for our third race here at Lingfield. This is such a race with real depth in it. I think any number you could give a chances to, and the betting very much bearing testament to that. I liked Field of Light myself. We've just been on the drift there, out to 5-1 for the Gold Cup winning trainer Ed Dunlop, stepping up to the 1.5 miles. I think a horse that's certainly got scope for more. Ran on handicap debut last time at Ripon and just seems to be steadily improving, has a bit of a progressive profile. It's really the 3-year-olds that the market is focusing on. We've spoken to Simon Dow about El Campione, who thought maybe just had a little bit more in hand than it looked on the bare margin last time at Wolverhampton, winning the hard way, and he thinks with the breeding he will suit the step up to the 1.5 miles. Brittleton is an interesting one, and that's the one for a little bit of money here for Harry Dunlop, who was in winning form yesterday at Wolverhampton. He gets to race off the same mark here today as at Kempton last time, and he tried to make the running that day. And if we go back to his run first time up this season after a long break, 177 days, he was quite keen that day and he stayed on really well. That was a really good run here, beaten by a more experienced or unexposed horse on the day. And if he can reproduce that, then he's certainly in with a good chance. They put the visor on trade to try and eke out a little bit more from him. Of the others at the top of the market then, seems to be a bit of confidence behind Star Anise as well here for George Baker and Shane Kelly. All 3 wins for her have come at Wolverhampton. So she's got to translate that here to Lingfield. So just a few more to load in then. Another one to mention is Censorious, who ran at Epsom last time for Lee Carter. As Darryl mentioned, that one's also come in for a little bit of support as well. They're trying the blinkers this time. And the other one I thought I'd mention at a big price, Grey Gem. There's a couple in here that are looking quite well handicapped. Grey Gem is one of them. He is 20-1 here for Sylvester Kirk. But again, going back to his course and distance run, 3 starts again. He was just worn down late that day after leading on his handicap debut, and he's only £1 higher here today, so he could be one to maybe enter the fray at a big price as well. But just a few more to load, including Light of Love, which will be one of the last. She's just dropped a couple of pounds, which will help from her last run at Newbury for Henry Candy and Paul Hannigan, and this trip should suit better. She was on handicap debut last time over 10 furlongs, and maybe it just wasn't far enough for her, or it was a much hotter race as well, so that she's going to find this a little bit easier, I think. But she will be the last to load as the stall handlers eke her forward. Let's join Tony.
All set, they're off. Horn Tower a bit slow. Delboy also missed the kick. Ridden leaving the stalls was Censorious. Very quickly away was Al Mizan towards the far side to lead early on in the John and Joan Goodall Memorial Handicap. Now taken on by the Grey Gem. Also handy is Light of Love in the turquoise jacket out wide. Dropping in behind those is Brittleton, the light blue sleeves and cap, and out wider in the stripes is Fox Cover. Then the dark blue and yellow of Field of Light. Back on the inside, Horn Tower, the dark blue and white colours. Then comes Mega Munch in the beige and maroon ahead of El Campion, who's just took a full stride there, and Star Anise also slightly stumbled on the inside. Further back to find Censorious. Towards the back is Delboy, and that one's detached by a few lengths. The back of the rear, the back of the main pack is Lady Lunchlot in yellow and blue as they go around the turn. So Grey Gem, Martin Hardy by a length. To Light of Love in second, racing in third is Al Mizan. In fourth place is Fox Cover, just ahead of Brittleton, and then on the inside is Field of Light under Jim Crowley. Then comes Mega Munch, who's wider of Horn Tower. Towards the extreme outside, we have Lady Lunchalot. Just behind those in the brown and light blue is El Campion with a white face. Further back to find Delboy, who's last in the green and white. Star Anise held up red and white, and also the blue and white Censorious is towards the tail of the field. Inside the final 6 furlongs they go, so just past halfway. Grey Gem by a length to in second place Light of Love. Racing in third on the inside Al Mizan, who's racing in the blinkers under William Carson. Fourth place to the outside Fox Cover, the pink and dark blue stripes, and then comes Brittleton and Luke Morris. On the inside Field of Light is next from Mega Munch. Behind those is Horn Tower. Right up on the outside Lady Lunchalot. El Campion's just in midfield as well. The back trio are still Censorious, Star Anise and also Delboy as they race down the side with 3.5 to go. Still Grey Gem dictating and still leads by a good length. To in second place Light of Love. Shaken up is Al Mizan, then Brittleton, El Campion, the white face getting into it. Also on the move is Field of Light, but will need an out as they head for the home turn outside the 2. Grey Gem though kicks off the front, leads by 2 lengths. Here comes Brittleton now going off in chase for Luke Morris. Under pressure Al Mizan. El Campion hasn't picked up as they turn for home. It's still Grey Gem. Out wide Brittleton, far side Al Mizan. Staying on well, it's Field of Light from a long way back. Grey Gem Gem's in front. Field of Light's got room far side. Here's Brittleton though near side going home best, and it will be Brittleton. A double on the day for Luke Morris. Brittleton wins in the first time visor. Second, Field of Light. Third was El Campion. Fourth, Grey Gem, and then Al Mizan.
Well, it's Brittleton who has come home best here to land the spoils and land a double on the day for Luke Morris. The first time visor, just eking out that little bit extra. It was the unexposed 3-year-olds we had to look at, because Field of Light's also run a really good race as well, just trying to burst through in the closing stages there. It looked like he had the race sewn up, but Brittleton has dug deep and pulled out that little bit extra. You can see he just went into the back of Grey Gem there as he asked for his effort, and it's just cost him a little bit of momentum. And at that point, Field of Light had already got first run on him, but he had too much still to give, Brittleton, and he's stretched out here to win by the best part of a length in the end. But good performance from him. As we said, he'd been stringing together some good efforts, but trying to make the running last time, he opted for different tactics here today, and it has done the trick. A second good run at Lingfield after his one first time up at the start of the season. And Field of Light continues good progression, just bumping into one today. Finished back in second, and Grey Gem has tried his best from the front there, and it's just jinked. I don't think that there'll be anything to look at there for the stewards, because Grey Gem was going backwards and Brittleton has very much made up that ground in the end, but we will see. But Brittleton comes out on top for Harry Dunlop and Luke Morris.
Yes, Brittleton has won the 4-1 favourite, and what a brilliant run. Luke Morris is having, of course, reached the 100 for the season, first jockey to do so at Bath earlier today, had a double at Wolverhampton last night.